Imagine your perfect life. You have no enemies, no fear, and you don't have to fight for anything. Everything is great, and it's a perfectly peaceful life. Sounds good, but at the same time, in such world, we all would die of boredom. Let's be honest, stress is something that differs the people who achieve their goals from the people who don't achieve much. In detail, it's about the ability to deal with stress. Courageous people know how to live with fear, and so they live a good life, while anxious people live a boring life. It seems against our nature, but the thing is, we should not avoid stressful situations and instead, we should embrace them. Think logically. How else are we supposed to become strong, courageous, calm and mature if not by exposing ourselves to stress? Stress is inevitable in life, so why won't we learn to just accept it calmly? It is so obvious, and yet, so few people appreciate the power of voluntarily choosing discomfort. Imagine you're a beginner fighter and you have a very important fight tomorrow. If you're new to such things, of course that you're gonna be afraid, but at the same time, are you gonna feel the same level of pressure before every fight in the future? Some people do, but it doesn't make sense. This way you'd spend 1/4 of your life being afraid. Who wants to live such life? There is a better way. You should accept the thing you're afraid of as a natural part of life. Use it as a tool to grow. Living a calm life isn't about not having to face any discomfort in it. Rather, it's about learning how to be comfortable in discomfort. Think about the Stoics. For them, nothing that happens outside of our control is either good or bad. Therefore, even death isn't inherently bad for them. True Stoic wouldn't really care whether someone wants to kill him or not. If such level of calmness is possible, how do we achieve it? There are a few ways. It's about both learning how to mitigate fear and learning to act despite fear, or in other words, just becoming more courageous. Courage is part of discipline. You build courage by doing hard things and just getting more in control of your life, regardless of what your emotions tell you. The best way to both build courage and at the same time become less afraid of life is just by going through fear. But it's not about just living with fear and letting it completely take control, but about going through it and consciously trying to be more calm despite it. Taking fear like a mature person. It's the practical part of becoming someone braver, and so it is the most effective way. Jordan Peterson talked about taking fear voluntarily, which is also useful. Something I like very much and what is also very useful is monitoring your emotions and simply identifying the feeling of stress when it's appearing. Name your emotions. When you identify what you feel, no matter if it's fear, anger, jealousy or whatever, it loses the power over you because you override it with logic. But what about the other ways? Obviously, the Stoic way. Stoicism is about realizing what is in our control and what is outside of our control. If something is in your control, you take action. But if something is outside of your control, you don't care and calmly accept what happens. Let's say you have a test tomorrow. It is in your control to study as hard as you can. But still, the end result of the test is outside of your control. Therefore, it is wise to study for it. But at the same time, being afraid of it and caring about whether you pass or not is illogical. I had a similar thing with my driving license test lately. Maximizing my focus and trying my best was in my control. But the thing that I didn't pass wasn't dependent on me. And here we get to the next thing. I didn't pass the test. But guess what? Did the world go down? No. Just ask yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen if you fail at the thing you're so afraid of? You want to talk to that girl. Yeah, you may be rejected and perhaps ridiculed, but really, it is nothing. You'll just keep living. You want to pass that exam. Yeah, you may fail and waste some time, but in most cases, you can get another try anyway. And even if not, it still doesn't mean that you're gonna die if you fail. You'll still be alive, just without the small luxury of passing, which in the long run probably doesn't mean much in your life. I got it from Tim Ferriss. And still, even if you imagine the worst scenario, it rarely actually happens. Also, a small tip I got from Jocko Willink. When you fear something, try to get a bit cocky and actually mock it. It works well. Laugh at your fear. Of course, it is not like I am always a stoic beast and I feel no fear at all. I often feel very afraid of many things. And I don't always use some of the things I presented to you in this video, but still, they are all useful. And if this video caused you to become a bit more comfortable with the feeling of stress, don't be shy. Go and slash that subscribe button into a million pieces. A like or comment would also be nice. Thanks. And here's something overpowered. My faith. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. It's that reassurance that God gives me strength and courage, and no matter what happens, He is with me. And besides, whatever happens, happens. Maybe He wants me to fail the task I want to succeed in, and if so, my main goal should be to calmly accept this failure with faith, virtue and peace, and use it as an occasion to grow. Really, many of the worst things we go through end up being the best thing we went through, because of the lessons we got from them. And the last thing you should know is that fear is only in your head. It doesn't really exist outside. No matter what happens, your brain exaggerates the negativity of the outcome you fear. And if you want to learn something more about using stoicism in everyday life, I think this video is for you. It is about how to stop caring about social approval. I mean, there is also such thing as the fear of social rejection, so it is related. Thanks for your time. Growth is our duty. Bye.